Hey y'all, this your girl Cassie B, and let's just get into it. Today we're gonna be making some glazed pork chops, sautéed sweet potatoes, and some air fried vegetables. Let's get into it, y'all. So this is the final product. I want you to see how yummy it is and how easy it is to cook. Let me show you all the ingredients that I prepared. Some of this is from Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. Some of it's what I had in my house. I also went to Kroger's to get them pork chops. So just, the best way to cook is to get all your ingredients out. That way all you have to do is just grab and go, grab and go. Okay, let's begin. So first, I actually sliced, diced, and peeled my sweet potatoes. So you're gonna see that, but I think that would be the first thing because they kind of do take a little bit longer as far as like meal prep goes. So I started doing that. As you see here, I put the sweet potatoes on the stove, and I like to put my little fixins. I'll show you the ingredient list at the end, but I got my brown sugar, I got my white sugar, and I put a little bit of vanilla in there. As you see, I've got my cinnamon, I got my little nutmeg, and then I also even add like Italian seasoning and whatever kind of like savory seasonings you like, your choice. You could do rosemary, you could do basil, all that good stuff, because you want to have a good balance of savory and sweet. And also you want to have a little bit of sauce because you don't want them drenched in the sauce. You want to have a little bit of sauce left over. So you get that all together, put that on the stove all at once, and let it go, baby. Let it cook. And as you see here, I finish. I like to also add a little bit more seasoning to them, so you could add a little bit more of your seasoning. Then next, I cut my vegetables. I love broccoli, so you'll see that a lot as my side, but you could always use any kind. You could do cauliflower, whatever vegetables you like. I love broccoli, it's yummy. So then I quartered all my broccoli, all the big chunks. I just made them smaller so that way that you could really enjoy all of the broccoli and not just these big chunks, so it's a little bit harder to eat. Then I cut my onion, and after I cut my onion, I sliced that up. Slice it and cut it however you want. Like I said, sometimes I cube it, sometimes I slice it. In this case, I sliced it. Then you mix it all together, put it to the side when you're ready to cook. So you see here, as you can see, I've got my air fryer on. Check your air fryer or whatever instrument you're using to cook your vegetables. I sat here, I put it on air fry. Actually, I put it on air roast, baby. But you could do air fry. I did a roast because I just wanted to get a little bit of that kind of char taste a little bit. So I put it on air roast and I set that time for it there. Cook it however you like. I did put in olive oil and I tossed it. I season it at the end because sometimes if I season it while it's in there, it might, in the air fryer, sometimes it might like get a little too crisp or even like a burnty kind of thing. So I just season it at the end. But however you prefer, do what you do, baby. Then next, I cut my tomatoes because I do like to use tomatoes. I love tomatoes. I will say that all the time. I love tomatoes. Literally, if you put in everything, it just helps bring in all the flavor and it gives that lightness. Sometimes we can eat vegetables and it could just be so bland and hard, but adding those tomatoes kind of bring a little life to it. Dice those tomatoes. And what I did is I actually cooked. Let's pull these vegetables out. As you see, yummy, yummy, yummy. I actually cooked them halfway through, and then I added for like the last maybe like 3 to 4 minutes. Then I added my tomatoes because tomatoes cook really, really fast. So I added those at the end just to kind of give it some color. Again, bring that lightness and bring it all together. Season at the end. You toss a little bit of olive oil and then season the rest. And as you can see, you can cook these how you like. I like to push mine a little bit past al dente just because I don't want like still that hard crunch. I want a softer crunch, but I still want to have that color and that brightness, and it just tastes good. Season it to taste, baby. Move on. Let's go. Now to the next part. Then we're gonna do our pork chops. Like I said, in the middle of doing things, you can always cook multiple things at once as long as you get something going. But in the case of this video, we're just doing it one at a time. But do it however you like, all at once, one at a time, whatever you have time for. So here I gathered all my seasonings for my pork chops. Now these are supposed to be a little bit glazed. So you gotta add a little bit of that brown sugar and then all your savory seasonings. Mix that all together. I like to do it piece by piece. Some people will just put it all together in one and then just season it all together in a bowl. I like to do it piece by piece and season each piece by piece. So that way I know everything is seasoned the way that I like. I can see the coloring on the seasoning. Baby chef's kiss. Next, you want to get your grill. I have a little grill skillet, baby. It is magic, okay? So I put a little bit of olive oil in, get that baby nice and hot, and watch them sear. Sear it up, baby. Now you know you searing when you see that little you want to hear that. Those are my nails, but you want to hear that. Yes. Say less, baby. Say less. You can cook them how my bad. I cook my pork chops to 145. Okay? You can pull them however you want. I pull them at 145. I try to maybe even get them around 140 because they're going to continue to cook once you pull them out. But don't forget, we got to add the sauce, right? For our pork chops, so that way they have that nice glaze, right? So this is the glaze sauce. I put in my seasonings. I put in my garlic. I put in my soy sauce. I put in my brown sugar, and I use a little bit left over from what was in the pan when I cooked the pork chops. I added that in there too. Added a little bit of honey, and there you go. Just mix it in. As you saw, I wanted to make sure that you'll see little clumps when you're cooking it. Just try to separate those clumps, and you just want to make sure everything's good. This doesn't take long to cook. Everything will bind pretty quickly, especially like the pan is hot, so it's gonna all bind, and you don't want to overcook it. And so definitely make sure. So I did all of that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And I just seasoned. I probably cooked it probably for about like 3 to 5 minutes. It doesn't need that long. You just want to just bind everything together and get it that little thick consistency that you'd like. And then now, like I said, everything's plated. Like I just add your sauce. So I drizzled my sauce on top, and I kind of like wiped it down so that way it covered it. Right. I could probably have not cooked it too long, or if I could have used like a different serving utensil to put on my sauce. But baby, look, we got 3 kids and we gonna make it do what it do, baby. Okay, so we layered that sauce on top of them pork chops. We add a little bit more sauce onto our sweet potatoes, baby, and here is your meal. Please wait to the end and you'll see all the ingredients load up. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you come back. More food to come. Yum. Bye.